Here, in the depths of the unknown, lies truth intertwined with terror. Every story, every chilling whisper you will hear has been drawn from the darkest corners of reality. So come join us as we venture down the rabbit hole. Dean checked his watch for the third time in 10 minutes, wondering why the night seemed to drag on forever. Patrick's parents had given him the rundown before leaving. Help yourself to the fridge, or feel free to buy yourself some pizza. Just make sure Patrick is in bed by 9 p.m. Dean figured babysitting an 8-year-old wouldn't be too hard, especially since he could invite his friends over once Patrick was asleep. Patrick, however, had different ideas. "Dean, can we play Monopoly?" Patrick asked, clutching the board game hopefully. "Nah, kid, it's getting late. You should be in bed," Dean replied, not really interested in spending his evening with a board game. Patrick pouted. "But I want to stay up a bit longer." "Don't misbehave, Patrick. Go to bed," Dean said firmly. He didn't want any trouble, especially not with Patrick's parents trusting him for the first time. With a huff, Patrick reluctantly trudged upstairs. Dean sighed in relief, collapsing onto the couch and flipping through channels. About an hour later, he got bored of TV and decided to text his friends, Lenny and Steve. Lenny was the cautious type, just happy to have fun with his friends. But Steve was the complete opposite, always looking for trouble and ways to prank people. When Lenny and Steve arrived, Lenny brought a bag of potato chips, and Steve typically had nothing. Dean joked about Steve being cheap, until Steve pulled out what looked like a single chili. "This, my friends, is a Carolina Reaper, the world's hottest chili," Steve announced proudly. "We're gonna cut this bad boy into 4 pieces, and each have a slice," Dean chuckled. "You're crazy, man, but let's do it." They gathered around the kitchen island, Steve handling the chili with his bare hands. He sliced it carefully, the sharp stings from small cuts on his fingers making him wince. Each of them took a slither, seeds intact. For a moment, there was silence. Dean thought it wasn't so bad, until the heat hit him like a freight train. "Whoa, there it is," Steve said. His voice strained as he began to feel the heat too. Lenny freaked out, laughing but clearly in pain, running to the fridge to grab a can of whipped cream, spraying it directly into his mouth. "Grab the milk," Dean shouted, his eyes watering. Lenny handed out glasses of milk as they all yelled in discomfort, laughing at their own stupidity. Unbeknownst to them, Patrick was peeking from the hallway, curious about the commotion. The boys finally settled in the living room to play video games, the heat from the chili still lingering. Patrick, feeling left out and eager to join the fun, tiptoed into the kitchen. He saw the remaining piece of chili on the chopping board. Without hesitation, he popped the entire thing into his mouth. Instantly, it felt like his mouth was on fire, his stomach a roaring furnace. He tried to hold back the tears, but when he rubbed his eyes with his chili-soaked hands, the pain intensified. A scream erupted from him, bringing Dean, Lenny, and Steve running to the kitchen. Steve laughed. "What an idiot." "Shut up, Steve," Lenny snapped. "What did we do, Dean?" Dean's heart pounded in panic. "Patrick, come here." He rushed the boy to the sink, splashing water on his face, but it didn't help. Patrick's eyes were blood red, tears streaming down his face as he cried out in pain. "We need to call an ambulance," Lenny insisted. No, I'll get in trouble," Dean said, trying to calm himself. "We can handle this. Just keep giving him milk." They tried everything, but the pain didn't subside. Patrick's cries grew weaker, but more desperate. Finally, realizing the severity, Dean caved and called for an ambulance. The paramedics arrived swiftly, and Patrick was rushed to the hospital. Dean's heart sank when Patrick's parents arrived, their faces a mix of panic and anger. Hours later, a doctor informed them that Patrick was stable, but had suffered severe damage to his left eye. "We couldn't save it," the doctor said grimly. The chili oils were left too long, causing irreparable damage. Dean was devastated, guilt washing over him. Patrick's parents couldn't even look at him. He was never asked to babysit again, and carried the weight of that night for years, haunted by the sound of Patrick's cries and the knowledge that his negligence had caused a young boy so much pain, and his vision in one eye. As we claw our way out from the stifling depths of the rabbit hole, let the scorching heat sear into your consciousness, branding your psyche like an unrelenting inferno. Don't forget to subscribe and join us again as we dive deeper into the mysteries that skirt the edges of reality. Because next time, the horror might just find its way from the rabbit hole and into your home. Thanks for watching.